Yo, is this real? Donald Trump believes he will be arrested on Tuesday and calls out his supporters to protest. Like, yo, is Trump going to jail tomorrow? Or am I tripping? I saw that shit this weekend, but I just didn't want to give too much thought to it. And I was like, I'm going to research more about that shit on Monday when I get back. But that shit make no sense to me. Trump's going to prison for what? Or not even for what, because he did do mad arrestable shit, like not paying taxes, people breaking into the stuff. What else? He had like documents, emails from Hillary, like a whole bunch of crazy shit. And supporters, don't get mad at me. I'm not saying he's right or you could get arrested for that. You shouldn't. I'm just saying legal laws that were broken. Former President Donald Trump and said Saturday he expects to be arrested Tuesday in connection with the years-long investigation into a hush money scheme involving adult film actress Stormy Daniels, and called out his support to protest any such move. Another witness is expected to testify Monday before the grand jury investigation of hush money payment. Stormy Daniels, wasn't that I think that was the girl that he was smacking. Stormy Daniels, yeah, that was the porn star that he was smacking.
Former President Donald Trump has now posted on Truth Social this morning that he will be arrested Tuesday of next week. He called the Manhattan District Attorney's Office highly political and called for protests to, quote, take our nation back. I want to note we have not heard.
Yo, the last time you told niggas to protest, y'all saw what happened. Probably relax with that shit. We trying to avoid more charges. This nigga telling people, you should protest, come back up. Like, bro, why you think they mad at you in the first place for you telling niggas to protest? They stole the vote. It's what y'all kept yelling. And shit went crazy. Don't start saying you about to go to prison. They about to lock up Big Donald T up. They gonna really bug out. They gonna break him out of jail like they took out the Joker.
Heard from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office yet on this. Again, this Truth Social post by Donald Trump was just done this morning. And we are actually working on getting that post up for you right now, but I would emphasize that what the president or the former President Trump has said is that according to the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, with leaks from that office, he is now claiming that the former president of the United States of America, oddly again referring to himself in the third person, will be arrested on Tuesday of next week.
Just to tell you guys, that's the tweet I was talking about. That's exactly what I read. When he talked about himself in third person, I was mad confused in the morning, like off a hangover. Like, yo, wait, what's going on?
Now, here's what's really disturbing about his post as well. He says, quote, protest, comma, take our nation back.
Now, saying words like that, bro, I'm just saying, you know what got you in this in the first place? Telling niggas to protest. They protested a little bit too hard. You thought they were gonna be out there with signs saying, hell no, we won't go. Nah, they burned the whole shit down. They was breaking windows, bugging out, taking a shit on Nancy Pelosi's desk. Allegedly. I'm just saying, relax with the protests. Relax.
Considering what happened on January 6th.
Oh, look, she beat me to it. Relax. Telling niggas to protest after what already happened, relax.
At the United States Capitol, that obviously gives some rise for concerns. But Donald Trump now in his...
Ooh, I ain't even know they had the Trumpy merch for St. Patty's Day. They had the green Trumpy hats. That's crazy.
Own words, posting on Truth Social that he expects to be arrested on Tuesday of next week, which is just in a few days. Again, this is breaking news that has just occurred.
That's tomorrow. So y'all really telling me Donald Trump's going to prison tomorrow? That's what y'all telling me? DT is going to prison tomorrow? I don't know. Let me see if we can find anything more on this real quick. Hold on. Donald Trump prison. Let's see what pops up. Rolling Stones. Let's see. Can Donald Trump really go to prison?
After an attempted extortion of Ukrainian President Zelensky, criminally obstructing the Russia probe, encouraging a mob to attack the U.S. Capitol to prevent the orderly transfer of power that resulted in several deaths, keeping sensitive national defense information for its trophy value, and assorted lesser grifts and grafts over the past 6 years, Donald Trump is on the cusp of an indictment in New York County for, drumroll here, falsifying business records in the first degree. First degree sounds impressive, but in New York, this crime is designated as a Class E, nonviolent felony, the lowest felony level in New York's grading system. A1 is the highest for those who still obsess about their GPA. I'll jump ahead here to what you really want to know. Yes, he could go to prison. The maximum penalty for this offense is 1/3 to 4 years. If such a penalty were imposed, he would have to serve 1/3 years before he became eligible for parole, and he would be out, with good behavior, in 2/3 years. But there is no mandatory minimum sentence. If convicted, he could be sentenced to few anger management programs, and trial is at least a year or more away. Even upon conviction, there would be years more of appeals. How long can this drag out? Long enough for at least half of MSNBC's audience to shuffle off this mortal coil, and Gen Alpha will be voting. So what is this crime, and what do the prosecutors hope to prove in this case? A person is guilty of this crime when they, with intent to defraud, cheat or deceive, cause a false entry to be made in a business record intending to conceal, aid, or commit another crime. In this case, The prosecution is expected to argue that Trump directed or was aware that his thug with the law degree Michael Cohen paid $130,000 to porn star Stormy Daniels to keep her mouth shut about her fling with Trump, and to make a business record logging this payment as legal expenses, and that this was done to circumvent federal campaign finance law governing contributions and expenditures to aid Trump's presidential campaign. In other words, the payment to Daniels was a campaign contribution expenditure, and the Trump organization's reimbursement of the payment was illegally called a legal expense, and all of it was done at the direction of Trump or with his knowledge.
Okay, so what basically I hear from this is you about to go to jail for using the company card on some pussy. You used the company card on some pussy or hush money so the pussy wouldn't speak about the encounterment. And it came back because you wrote, your accountant wrote it down with the wrong term. Like, no, it should have never been legal expenses. That shit should have been some cat on a plate. Hold on, what else can we get from this? Hold on. Now I'm interested. Now I'm hearing the bochinche like, bitch.
Admittedly,
tell me more.
this all sounds wonkier and duller than
I don't think he's
insurrection,
going to jail, I'm not gonna lie to
riot,
you.
or treason. But, to paraphrase the late
And
and
if he does,
unlamented
he won't get
architect of the
probation or some
Iraq
shit.
War, Donald Rumsfeld, you don't prosecute the crimes you want to see. You prosecute the crimes you have. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has authority only to prosecute crimes in the New York Penal Code that were committed, in whole or in part, in Manhattan. He does not have a roving commission to seek out and destroy evil wherever it rears its head. Plus, prosecuting this case is relatively simple. It involves a few narrow transactions that can be proven with a limited number of witnesses and documents. And Cohen's hush money payoff came only weeks before the 2016 election and shortly after the Access Hollywood grab them by the pussy tape emerged. Daniels had been shopping this story around for a while without success. The prosecution will argue that the payoff was made to aid Trump's campaign at a crucial time. Get it? It's like a criminal matryoshka doll, with the intent to commit an underlying crime resting within the crime of falsifying business records. Critics of Bragg's approach, across the political spectrum, have variously called this use of that law as prosecutorial overreach, unprecedented, challenging, and complex. Like most things in the law, though, it's kind of yes and no. The most common objection is that the underlying crime sought to be concealed by the false business record is the federal crime of election law violation. So, the critics charge, a local DA may only allege New York crimes as underlying crimes, but the New York law simply refers to committing, aiding, or concealing an underlying crime, any crime, whether federal or state. Prosecutions have been previously sustained for falsifying business records with the intent to mislead an investigation by the SEC, a federal offense. It is true that this statute apparently has not been hitherto used to criminalize federal election law violations, but there is nothing besides Fox News experts to say it cannot be.
I just been sitting here while all this was being talked by Siri of, that's an expensive ass nut. You had to pay Shorty 130 bands so she wouldn't talk about the nut busting that happened. Like, that's crazy. That's some crazy hush money. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, at first I was like, yo, 130 bands to a man, that ain't even that much. But just think about it, 130 bands about some hush money. It ain't even like a crazy crime. It's you got some gin. It's crazy to me. Anything else important? Longing for a process, but we're likely to see Trump in court this week pleading not guilty at his very first felony charge, and that is something. Yeah. I think, bro, Trump's gonna, if anything, get arrested, detained, and let go that same exact minute. Ain't shit happening. That's crazy. What do you guys think about all this, though? Let me know down below. Should we be able to spend our business cards on whatever we want? Or is hush money just a bit too far? Let me know down.